If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option, as Sori says. $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
Sinners bleed. Let's go. Oh my God. 10. Yes, victory.
Yes, Neil, do it!
It's almost like Lady Blood. Later, Tina Benina.
Bye.
Tina's like, now I realize why I hate Entombed. I don't know. I thought that everybody else liked the song. Okay, Tina.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Tina.
Is this somebody that's making themselves pay for their own sins? Or did I?
What makes you say that?
Well, it was. Well, first of all, my skin is dripping from blood, and then I was at the end. I'm gonna bleed like sinners bleed, obviously. But then I am scattered in my own blood. I am losing all my beliefs, but I was not going to just be dying. I'm bleeding, sinners bleed. So I just thought it was somebody kind of paralyzed by fear for something I could not believe. A paradise to some, but hell to suckers like me. So is this somebody that could not accept like religion, or did I?
Well,
what? Yeah, that's true. It's a relationship song.
My
isn't it?
skin is dripping from blood. For that moment, I sighed in relief. So yeah, it looks like he's doing it to himself.
Self-flagellation or something.
Well, it looks like he's trying to kill himself. I mean, I'm not going to get into the details of His skin is dripping from blood. From that moment, I sighed in relief. So he sighed in relief because he was getting cut. I was going to bleed like sinners bleed, paralyzed by the fear for something I could not believe. A paradise to some, but a hell to suckers like me. See, that is a very interesting line. Paralyzed by the fear for something I could not believe. So I think he's talking about an afterlife. How people... It's really funny. Like, you see this a lot in the Chicago stuff. Where it'd be like, blah, blah, blah. This guy's a demon. He's a demon. Oh, yeah. He's a real demon. Blah, blah, blah. He's out there killing niggas. Blah, 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 blah. And then when he dies... Oh, we'll see you again, bro. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting. Like, even when they're talking about their ops, like, you know, he ain't one of ours. I sent him to the stars. Like, it's almost like this like rule that you get to heaven just by dying. Like, that's where you go when you die. No, it's not.
No, it is not. Do not be deceived.
But notice he says, paralyzed by fear for something I could not believe, a paradise to some, but hell to suckers like me.
Yeah.
Unspeakable sights I behold, they're freezing and teasing my mind, terrorized by the essence from beyond, the dimensions of another kind. So it looks to me like this guy was under some sort of duress, obviously. He needs relief. And so he sheds his own blood, presumably on the way to killing himself. But as he's transitioning into the other world, he cannot believe what he's actually seeing, because he is not seeing the heaven and the pearly gates or whatever. He's seeing terrorizing things, and his mind is frozen, and now he can't believe that he's in this situation. The dimensions of another kind. And again, I've been saying this. It's been incredible to watch
Descent into
secularists.
fright.
Huh?
Descent into fright when I was slowly sent down to hell. Yeah, because remember we talked about that Afterlife movie. Definitely, you guys should see that. And that person that was being dragged down, they said, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, he was being dragged down to hell, and one of the things that was in his mind was, why is this happening to me? I'm a good person.
Yeah.
And when he said that, he started falling even faster. That's what he said.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a good person. Everything that we do that's good, it comes from God's grace that he's given us to be like him.
Well, there's one good person, and
That's
we killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. Paralyzed by the fear for something I could not believe.
We need 60 likes or dislikes to hear the rap.
Moving lights passes nihilism, which nihilism.
Like nihilism, yeah.
In which I fell, descended to fright when I was slowly sent down to hell. Scarlet black all I see, the void caught up with my eyes, and the horrid weight, I think it's a horrid fate suffers me. Please let me free. I just want to die. Please set me free. I just want to die. Well, I thought you already did die up here.
Yeah,
See
but you know how people think that there's going to be like peace or something or nothing after? And he's saying, well, hold on a minute. I wanted to die. Right? Is that what's happening?
Say that again.
You know when people want to die and so that's why they take their own life, but then like surprise, there is something on the other side and now it's worse than what you had before. Yeah. And so he's saying, well, hold on a minute. I just wanted to die. That's what I was going for.
Are you guys hate rich people? No, I do not hate rich people. I can't hate rich people. I'm an American. Palace of confusion, castle of pain, beneath these walls of power. I'm lost in hell's domain. I'm scattered in my own blood. I'm losing all my beliefs, but I was not just going to be dying. I'm bleeding like sinners bleed. Look, man. It's like I always say, that is one hell of an oops. That's one hell of a, this is shit I used to think about that I still think about a lot. And like, it's so much that I stopped. But like, I'd always think about waking up I had somebody tell me an experience. I had somebody tell me an experience, and I was just sitting there like, I'm not gonna get into details, but basically, long story short, is he woke up in this place that was physically black. I don't know how else to say that, like that way, the way that he described it, and he talked about this deep feeling of confusion.
Oh no.
And terror, and his self-talk was the only thing he could hear. Which he said, like, all the volume was gone, all the air was sucked out of the room. He was just in this physical blackness, and he was not bodied. But he said there's a whole new panoply of sensations. And he talked about just being so confused. But there was like this consciousness on top of his consciousness that was saying, you know what this is.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Man. Okay. Like, okay. If people look at my anytime I've talked about God from the beginning of the channel till whatever, I don't talk about hell a lot.
Right.
I don't talk about heaven a lot.
Right.
What I talk about is our job is to bring the kingdom of God to the earth.
Yeah.
My job is not to talk about going to heaven, or going to hell, going to hell. My job is to push forward the kingdom of God. Heaven and hell are the logical ramifications of operating on a given team. The people of heaven, I said this a couple days ago, they've got their bill paid for by Jesus, and now they're following him to bring down heaven onto the earth. Literally everybody else who rejects that message, whether positively or negatively, whether you nicely reject the message or not, is working to bring hell up, is a person of hell, and is working to raise hell up to the earth. And so both teams are in conflict with one another. And quite frankly, it's one of the reasons why we can get along so well, and then some political issue will happen, and then it'll be this. It's not because we're fighting over politics. It's because we are fundamentally building different realities.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So, look. If we have places like prisons where, you know, there's a lot of theories on what the purpose of a prison is. One, I mean, the basic premise would be rehabilitation.
Okay.
Okay? That's why you call it a penitentiary, because you're penitent. You're doing your penance. And once you do your penance, you've repented. Now you can go back into society. So that's why they called it the penitentiary. Because that was going with that philosophy of societal punishment, where the goal of the punishment is to rehabilitate the person. The other theory of punishment, which is more of a right-wing theory, is punitive. We're not there to rehabilitate you. You did something wrong, so we're going to make you pay. That's it. Okay? So those are the two major views of prison. But there's another view, and I think based on the pandemic, it's important to talk about, which is quarantine. It may not be that God is sending you to a place to rehabilitate you because you have made your decision. And it may not be that God is saying, well, fuck you, you made your decision, so now I'm going to put you in this place, you're going to suffer, I'm going to set you on fire forever. Punitive. It may be that God says, hey man, I love you. Hey girl, I love you. I've been pursuing you your entire time on this platform, and every single time I try to pursue you, you told me that you're on that team. So here's what we'll do. I cannot let you and your crazy, destructive, hellish ideas around people who are trying to bring heaven to earth. So here's what we'll do. I'll carve off a little space in the universe, and you and all the rest of your 5 God-hating friends, because I don't believe the majority of us are going there. You and your friends, you guys have this part in the universe. You'll never be able to contaminate anybody else in the universe. You guys go ahead. And you could just imagine if you had, you know, Arkham Asylum over there in Gotham City, where you have Scarecrow and the Joker. You have a collection, an insane asylum of the worst people possible. What kind of culture would they build? What kind of music would they make? What kind of movies would they make? What kind of government would they have? Have at it for all eternity. That's hell. And that's where
no, thank you.
Some folks are going to spend forever. Who are hearing me right now, you're going to remember this conversation.
Yep.
So I don't talk about hell a lot. I don't like talking about hell. I don't believe that it's my primary mission to talk about hell. Hell is a negation. I would rather talk about what's positive, what's actually we're trying to manifest in the world. But this shit is real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Wow.
Feel how you want to feel about it. But our ancestors from the earliest moments of recorded history have been talking about this shit. So I know we're all modern. We have internets. We have phones. So we're too smart to believe in shit like that. Shout out to Entombed for speaking the real. This song's another 9.2 for me.
I'm going to give this one a 9.4. I definitely think the topic is important, obviously. And I think it is strange when you think about, you know, time and how, like, you know, we live in a place where time exists, but obviously when you go to the eternal state, time is no longer a thing. There's other things. And just the idea that we're all here right now, and that, you know, this stream itself is going to get X amount of views. There are X amount of people in the stream right now. And you have the people that are going to see the individual videos when they're broken up. And the message is going out to everybody. And everybody is required, again, you're your own puppeteer. So you have to decide what you're going to do with the information you've been given. And you can't rely on anybody else or point to anybody else, because at the end of it all, like when you're standing in that void, it's only you. And it's only you and every choice and decision that you made your entire life. and you're going to stand before the creator of the universe, and you're going to give an account for everything. And so I just think that songs like this are important because they do make us think, and they give us a chance, I guess, a chance to break out of the thought patterns that we have, because we get like, I was looking through, this is a couple months ago, I was looking through some old text messages, and I was just seeing like repeated patterns over and over and over. And I didn't realize how many times that was repeated until I was seeing it like in a quick timeline. And our lives are like that. The scripture talks about our lives being like a vapor, like it's appeared for a little time and then goes away, just like a puff of smoke. It's so short, and then it's all off to the eternal state. So in this puff of smoke, this time that you have here, like, you know, we get so focused on the entertainment that we have, our jobs, our relationships, or our misery, or our depression, or whatever it is that we're like putting all of our time in. But then there are things that kind of like break into that thought process. And they were talking about like the mind, and how the mind has to be kind of like snapped out of its like jolted almost to like wake up and see something outside of it. And so for some people, you're having that moment where this review is kind of like a jolt wake up. And you have to decide whether you're going to put yourself back to bed, or you're going to decide to take up those strings and go somewhere else. And so, you know, like Vinny said, these words are going to echo back to some of you. And I hope that they echo today. And you make the decision today to say, you know what? I'm not going this route. I'm going to take another route. And I'm going to, you know, perhaps, because the thing is, if everything comes down to intentions, like you may not do Christianity as good as Vin, or you may not do it as good as that person, but that's not what it's about. It's about the intention of your heart and where your heart is. So if your heart wants God, then you will have him. So, you know, it's crazy. I'm going to give this one a 9.6.
Yeah. Ian said, what does that mean for St. Paul? He brought both to the earth. Well, to Sori's point, I think it's an important question, because Paul was somebody who was obviously a person of hell. He was obviously the son of hell, and he was obviously raising a lot of hell onto the earth.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then he ran into Jesus, and Jesus said, what you doing? He said, stop doing that. And then he said, by the way, Jesus said, now if you will just freely decide to follow me. He didn't say that to him. He said, man, I chose you to bring my message to the Gentiles. I know you're a Jew and you're a racist bastard and you hate non-Jewish people, but I'm actually going to send you to the Gentiles so that you can include them in this kingdom thing, because the kingdom is just bigger than your little group of people, Paul. I think that's important, because it gives all of us the ability. You could be a hell raiser, literally, for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. All you need is one encounter with that dude. One. Mm-hmm. And your entire trajectory changes like that. And the trajectories of all the people you will influence.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That one dude on the road to Damascus has affected literally billions of people for thousands of years.
Yep.
Like, come on, y'all. So, yes, if you've been a hell raiser and you see the remnants of the hell that you brought up to the earth, the solution is not to bleed like sinners bleed. The solution is to realize that Jesus already bled a sinner's bloody death for you. Mm-hmm. He already bled to death for you, so you don't need to make up any of the hell that you brought to the earth. All you do is take your bill and you put it on the cross, and then you follow that resurrected Jesus and help us bring about a new humanity. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's what I got for you. And it's a 9.2.
Maybe this is a little bit too like mystical. I don't know. But when Cain killed Abel, it says that his blood cried out to God from the ground. And if you've lived your life apart from Christ and apart from his ways, and your body is the temple of God, then when you cut your own self and your blood is hitting the ground, your blood itself is crying out to God for the injustice that you have done with what he has given you. Whoa. So, you know, your blood will never satisfy that. It's only gonna make you more guilty.
It just increases your guilt.
Yeah.
That's the thing, like Christianity is about, like, just offload all your guilt onto this guy. I mean, it's a horrible, but I do it every day.
Me too.
Oh, Jesus. Man, I don't hang out in guilt, bro. I don't. The cross is the best way to deal with guilt without being a sociopath. Because it can help you say what I did was wrong, but I'm not going to let it crush me.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not going to let it crush me. And you're right, MJ. It's too easy. We're raised, especially as a capitalist, we're raised in a culture of constant good guy versus bad guy. Most people can't. Correct. I'm not supposed to forgive white people. A white person fucks up. They say something on Twitter. That should be the end of their career. It should be everything.
Silence them forever.
Roseanne said some shit in a drunkard stupor on Twitter. That it's over for Cut Her Throat immediately. There's no redemption. Nobody can redeem themselves.
There's no arc.
There's nothing, man. She's right. We're in a really, really unforgiving, we're all trying to find somebody to fuck up and cancel them. And it creates an environment. And I recognize the environment because I recognize it as a religious person. The whole cancel culture thing, that's just secular religionism. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the same thing that we had to deal with our entire life about people getting canceled for fucking up one time.
And it's
one time.
Yeah, exactly. And it's evidence that you're not looking at yourself. Because if you're so quick to judge and to cut somebody off like that, it's just evidence that you don't see who you are. Because we all have reasons why we should be cut off. If everything we ever said and ever thought and ever did was suddenly on display, a lot of people would be squirming more than Epstein was, probably. Epstein didn't even maybe care. I don't know.
Ooh, talk that shit. 9.2, what'd you give it?
I give it a 9.6.
All right, guys, we got one more song. Shout out to Donald J. Trump. Trump has apparently broken the record for most votes in New Hampshire primary, breaking Bernie Sanders' record. So Delaney says, is Donald still here? I agree. I get no forgiveness from the toxic...
nasty leftist mob. It's okay. I can forgive them because I am generous. Most generous person ever seen. Such a character.
That was perfect. 9.2. Not perfect about New Hampshire. We're doomed, but whatever. 9.2. 9.2. At least I won't be going to hell.